So before we even get started, make sure that before I see you on Tuesday, that 5.7 homework is done. Okay, 5.8. So let's look here. Tanya and George are saving up money because they both want to buy new bicycles. To me, nothing really seems important there, so I'll cross it off. Tanya opened a savings account with $50, so she started with $50. Then she got a job and she saves $30 a week. I know it doesn't say per, but it means per. So that is your pattern. Therefore, Tanya's equation, y equals 30x plus 50. Let me make that look a little bit nicer. That's a 50. Okay, let's learn about George. George started a savings account, but he had $75 to start, but he earns $25 each week. So his equation, y equals 25x plus 75. So although George started with more money, Tanya earns more money every week. Okay? So we can start with table, algebra, graphing. It doesn't matter. I feel like the easiest for me to start is with the table. So what are we talking about? Time always goes here. And if you look, the time is weeks. Okay? And we're talking about money, which is dollars. But this one's Tanya. Same thing for George. Time, week. Money, dollars. They both start with 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you look here, Tanya's start is at 50. But if you look here, George's start is at 75. The pattern for Tanya is plus 30. And the pattern for George is plus 25. I can either use a calculator or do it in my head. 80, 110, 140, 170, 200. 100, 125, 150, 175, 200. So the great thing is I figured out where they're the same, and that's 5,200. So I'm actually going to write the answer right here, 5,200. Because what I want to know is every single time I do this, I should always get the same answer, and it should be 5,200. Where this is at 5 weeks, both will be $200, or will have. I just don't have enough space. Both people will have. And I'll just write $200. Just go across. Okay? So here I represented the answer using a table. 5, 200. Here I represented it in words. And now they're asking me to solve using algebra. If you remember doing what's algebra, it's find where they are the same. So you take this and set it equal to this. You don't need to set the y's equal because they're already the same. Small x to big X. Subtract 50. Divide by 5. And if you look, I got x equals 5. This 5 matches that 5, so you know you're on the right track. The only thing left to do is get the y. So I can either take the 5 and plug it in for that x, or I can take the 5 and plug it in for that x. I'll just take this one because it's on the left. 30 times 5 plus 50. 30 times 5 is 150, plus 50 is 200. What is 200? My y. So now I've shown through algebra that the answer is 5,200. I've shown through a table 5,200. I've shown you a point 5,200, and I've written it in words 5,200. The last thing to do, the one that takes the most time, is the graphing. So right now there's nothing there except I know there's a 0 right there. So the X value is always your time, which we says was weeks. And then what are we trying to get after time? We're trying to get some money, okay? So if you'll notice with my weeks, I went by ones. So I'm going to follow the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then the problem is if you look at the dollars, here I went by 25, but here I went by 30. So my guess is either go by 25 or go by 30. Money to me, I like going by 25s. It's easier for my brain. If you want to go by 30s, that's fine as well. But I also see the 50 and the 75, so it feels like when I do my start, it will be more obvious to go by 25s. Okay? And now that I do that, I'm going to graph them. I'll graph George first just because I feel like it. So if I'm looking at George, I'm graphing 0, 75, and that's right there. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay? And then if you look, the next point is 1, 100. Right 1 up to 100. Right 2 up 125. Right 3, 150. You'll notice it's a pattern, so dot, dot, dot. It's going to be clear. You just keep going. I feel like George is easier because it followed, we went plus 25 and it started at 75. Now, Tanya might be a little bit more difficult. So for Tanya, I'm starting at 50. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to start. Let me go like this, actually. I'm not ready to do that yet. This is George, so let me label it G for George, okay? Now I'm going to go to Tanya. So Tanya's start is at 50. And then her next value is 180. So I go right 1 and up to 80. So if you look, I'm guessing it's a little bit above 75. Let me actually rewrite the table down here, just so I don't have to keep going back and forth. So it was 0, 50, 180, 2, 110, 3, 140, 4, 170, 5, 200. Okay, so I did 0, 50, I did 180, 2, 110. So I'm going to go right 2 and up. There's 100, so 110 will be right there. It's not going to be perfect because it's not perfect. The next one is 3, 140. Right 3, up 140. So a little bit under. We're getting closer though, so that's good. 4, 170 is just under 175. And 5, 200 is perfect. So I'm going to go like this. Ugh. And then show that it goes forever. T for Tanya. And then I'm going to circle this, and I'm going to write that as the point, 5, 200. I need you to be very clear. When I have the graphing, boom, I have an answer as a point. When I did it in algebra with an equation, I had an equal sign. You can see the answer. If you look over here, you can see the table and answers. And if you look in words, 5 weeks, $200, 5, 200. Okay? So what I'm expecting you to do is be able to do a problem in all these different ways. Your homework is going to be take this situation, do tables, do the equations, solve it using algebra, graph it, and then write in words where they are the same. Okay? So you're taking this problem, doing all of that. That is your homework. Do that right now, please. Thank you.